So, I'd like to be even-handed here at the Young Turks. That gets me in trouble on the left. They don't want me to be even-handed. They want me to just beat up on Trump. And I'm like, you guys got that covered. You guys, believe me, you guys got that covered. To the point where there's going to be a backlash. So I'm keeping my eye on the ball. And, I just want to show you what we ripped this guy a new one for saying this.
We're getting rid of the individual mandate. We're getting rid of those things that people said that they don't want. And you know what? Americans have choices, and they've got to make a choice. And so maybe rather than getting that new iPhone that they just love and they want to go spend hundreds of dollars on that, maybe they should invest it in their own health care. They've got to make those decisions themselves.
Yeah, so healthcare, we ripped them a new one. It's like, oh, yeah. I was going to get that kidney operation, but I decided to spend $300 a year on an iPhone. So, hey, what was the joke? Hey, you can't afford that operation for your kid? Maybe consider a flip phone. So he's doing that thing, and what I said he was I call him, I'm sure, lots of names, because what he's doing is he's demonizing poor people. And he's saying the people are, they're selfish, and what would be another word for what he's saying the people are, who they don't have
irresponsible,
and they lack
irresponsible in his mind,
and they're indulgent.
They're self-indulgent, irresponsible, selfish. Okay, so that's what he's saying about people who don't have health care, and we beat him up for it.
He does want them to have their communication devices, though. He did say that. He's like, I want them to have their... Probably because he's like, well, how else are the debt collectors going to call poor people? They need to have those.
So here is Barack Obama being asked a very similar question. He was on a panel, and he was asked, someone wrote in and said, hey, I can't afford my premium under Obamacare. I only make $30,000 a year, and they wanted over $300 a month. What am I supposed to do? And... well, son of a gun, Barack Obama has a very similar sounding answer.
I guess what I would say is if you looked at that person's budget and you looked at their cable bill, their telephone, their cell phone bill, other things that they're spending on, it may turn out that it's just they haven't prioritized healthcare because right now everybody's healthy.
See, people who don't have health care, they don't know how to plan for the future. They're being irresponsible and indulgent. Right now, they're buying phones and cable TV. They're probably watching fucking flat screens. That's goddamn Barack Obama saying that.
But, Jimmy, it sounded way nicer when he said it. Sounded way nicer. I almost feel like I'm being irresponsible. Sounded really, really nice.
There he is, wagging his finger at poor people who can't afford health care. Well, maybe that's because they have to, those people they're with the cable, the flat screens, and the iPhones. It's a wonder he doesn't ask for his own fucking long-form birth certificate. And it's a wonder the way he repeats right-wing talking points.
Maybe I am tapping Donald's phone. I don't know. I've done some things I'm not proud of.
I'll tell you what, the media can't be trusted.
Jimmy, seriously.
I had to show you that.
Does that break your heart when you see that?
I had to show you that.
Because I know I voted for him. And when I see somebody, who I had faith in that was going to change America and make them better, and that he sits there in his nice suit taking our money and thinking it's okay and justifiable to tell people that they shouldn't have any kind of,
you shouldn't have
luxury.
Stuff to me these are common things in America. To have you have a phone, you have a cell phone, you have cable TV. That's some kind of unbelievable luxury. What is that? $30 a month you can get cable TV for? It's less than $1 a day. Can you get health care for $1 a day, Obama? Is that what you're telling me? Everybody has to. So if you're poor and you get sick, you have to first get rid of all your phones. You have to get rid of your cable. I don't know. Are you allowed to buy athletic shoes? Because that's probably they're buying their Air Jordans. I'm sure that's coming next. Are you allowed to have a television? I don't know what is. So you have to get rid of. How about can you have a fridge or a microwave? So that was sad. exactly what you said, Steph. And you wonder why Trump won. Because this is called neoliberal bullshit. This is when he puts a pretty face on right-wing policies. The horrible shit our government's been doing.
It's a right-wing straw man, too. I mean, that's exactly what it is, because it's like, instead of talking about the fact that we pay more and get less than every other industrialized nation in the world, and healthcare spending is out of control because we have this bullshit for-profit system that, yes, the Affordable Care Act relieved a little bit of, but still was just a baby step in the right direction. Instead of talking about that, we're going to be people aren't budgeting right to pay more and get less than every other industrialized nation in the world.
Why don't people budget more for their twice as expensive as the rest of the industrialized world healthcare with worse outcomes? Why don't they just budget more? Let's see what else he said.
Nobody actually wants to spend money on health insurance until they get sick. And then once they're sick, the costs of not having health insurance are a lot worse than the costs of having health insurance. I guarantee you, if that gentleman who just wrote you that letter, and I don't know his particular circumstance and whether he actually has gotten all the information about the subsidies that might be available, but I guarantee you that even at $300 a month, if heaven forbid something happened to him or a family member where they got sick and really needed, let's say, a week's worth of hospitalization, he will wish that he had paid that $300 a month.
He's saying he can't afford it.
You know what?
He's saying he's got a family of 4 and he can't afford it. Sorry, Steph.
You know, I'm so overwhelmed about the economics of his response, because ultimately what you're saying is he's saying $300. What if the guy is working a minimum wage job, which doesn't seem like anybody gives two shits about that? A minimum wage job is like, what are you earning? $10 an hour, 40 hours a week.
$7.50.
Okay, so maybe let's just say $10 so I can do the math fast. Let's say I'm making I make $400. I don't take home $400 that week. So he's expecting people to give up about what, 25% of their income every month for healthcare?
For healthcare insurance, not just healthcare, for the insurance. For just so that you can pay less when you get sick. You just have to pay even if you have insurance.
And I'm getting the impression our government is way more worried about the profits margin for the insurance companies.
Sure. You can tell that the problem they're trying to solve is to make sure that the profit margins are protected, not that people get health care.
Yes.
And there you go. There's Barack Obama. So if you want to know what's wrong and why we have Trump and why the Democrats are wiped out at every level of government, there you go right there. There's a guy shitting on poor people while he implements a right-wing health care plan, and he doesn't even apologize for it. He doesn't say, well, of course we should have single payer like the rest of the world. Of course we should have that. And of course I should have implemented that when I had the control of the Congress, a filibuster-proof Senate, and the White House. But we didn't. You know why? Because I'm bought and paid for. And even when people elect a completely left-wing government, what do they get? They get a bullshit corporate giveaway right-wing healthcare plan anyway. But I'll whack my finger at the poor people and tell them they got to get rid of their flat screens and their cable. And they just have to do what's right. Poor people just don't want to do what's right. That's why you got Trump. All right? It's not because of an activist. It's not because of an actress. It's not because of a YouTube jagoff like me. It's not because of some comedian. It's not because of a third party with no power. It's because of that. That's why.
Well, and I don't even fault him for not going straight to single payer, because I understand like the fact that so much our economy is based on this fucked up system, so that would be quite a jump. I can understand that, but when he let the public option go by the wayside, that was when he left out a crucial step that had he put that in there, we would have gotten to a universal system so much quicker. And he just dropped that, even though he had all the Democratic support, he had the power, he had the people behind him. He just let that go.
And just to show you that we encourage different points of view and dissent, Ron is 100% wrong about what he just said, and I let him say it, and I don't care. He's not going. I encourage that kind of people apologizing for Barack Obama implementing a right-wing health care plan.
I'm not trying to apologize for him. I'm
You
just
are.
saying I get that, but he could have
get
at
what?
least kept the public option.
You get what?
I get why he didn't go straight to single payer. I'm not happy about it.
Why didn't he go straight to single payer route? I think you're missing the point. Why didn't he go straight to single payer?
Because he was, well, because of the health insurance industry, but
Yes.
also, but he had that card in his pocket.
You
of,
think it
like,
would be
well,
too
the
much of a
economic
shot?
impact.
So you're saying that his bullshit reason was it would be too much of a economic impact to have our health care half as much as the rest of the world?
And I think that would have gotten a big public backlash because of that, because people would have bought that bullshit reason. So I understand why he didn't go straight there. But by taking
you're
out the public
saying-
option that didn't have, the public option didn't have.
So you're saying he
public
doesn't
backlash.
when left wingers get control of government, they don't implement left wing policies because people are misinformed about them. So they implement right wing policies.
Well, I never thought Obama was a left winger. He wasn't. He never was.
Right, I know, but I'm asking what you're saying. You're saying that when left wingers get a hold of, when Democrats, the left wing party, get a hold of government, they can implement left wing policies because the people are misinformed about them, Jimmy. And you have to let them implement right-wing healthcare policies and just right-wing policies in general because people are misinformed about them. That's the case.
Well,
I just want to let you know.
No,
that's what you're saying.
That's a fair critique. I mean, I think it's a little more complicated than that. But yeah, that's fair. I wanted single payer. I still do.
I know, but you're willing to excuse left-wing governments for not delivering when they should for really bullshit reasons.
Well, my bullshit reason.
If we
or his
had
bullshit
Medicare
reason?
for all right now, everyone would be fucking. They put him on Mount Rushmore.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I just see,
You,
like, I can
you
understand.
know how everyone loves Medicare. You saw the WikiLeaks with John Podesta. Made it. John Podesta. I made it to Medicare.
But I didn't expect that from Barack Obama, I guess. And maybe I'm wrong for feeling that way. But I did not expect that from him.
I did. I expected a revolution. People were ready for a revolution. People wanted the banks broke. We wanted a new way of doing things because you know why? We need one.
Okay, so you just started to bring up the banks, right? So
Yeah.
tell me again, because the number is so big and it always is troubling to me. How much were we giving the banks when we bailed them out every single month?
Well, quantitative easing was somewhere between $60 and $80 billion a month, and that went on for several years.
So we have all this money.
So we could have had college for everybody for just 1 month of quantitative easing. And again, that's a better way to put it. Bernie never couched it that way. He just said, we're going to tax them, which sounds like we're mad at you and we're going to penalize you, instead of saying, no, the money we already... Bernie has said it before. What we're talking about is the money you're already spending. We just need to redirect it. Instead of putting it in bombs and the bonuses at Wall Street, we put it into college and healthcare and roads and bridges and teachers. And that's what Bernie's saying. The money you're already paying. We just stopped giving $1 trillion bank bailouts, $1 trillion wars, $1 billion prison subsidies and oil subsidies. We stopped doing that. So that's what we're talking about. But that's why I love this show, because I get to let young men like that have the wrong opinion, and it gives me a chance to look smart and smack it down.
No, in principle, I totally agree with you 100%. I
I know
don't think, did Obama ever even say, and, correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, Obama never even endorsed a single-payer system at any point.
No, he did.
I
have
thought he did.
We played videotape on the show.
Really? Because,
of his-
in 2008, I didn't support him in the primary, mainly because I didn't see that on his platform. I saw it on Dennis Kucinich's.
Oh, okay.
So I was behind Dennis Kucinich.
I have a speech we've played on this show. I'll find it, where he was at a union meeting and he said that we all he supported single payer.
All right. Well, I still do not regret supporting Dennis Kucinich in the 2008
No,
primary.
and
He was still,
nor should you.
Because I love Obama so much, I never supported him in a primary. That's because I'm such a big fan.
Just don't excuse their badness. Hey, our next show is March 20th in Burbank. It's almost sold out. Our next show after that is April 3rd in Hollywood at the Improv. Links for tickets right below.